Seinfeld, often hailed as the show about nothing, remains a cornerstone of television history. Airing from 1989 to 1998, this iconic sitcom captured the everyday quirks and awkwardness of life through the lens of four New York friends. Did you know Wayne Knight, the man behind Newman, went on to become a key voice in Toy Story 2? While Jason Alexander's Broadway success didn't stop with George's antics, he snagged a Tony Award. Meanwhile, Jerry Stiller's hilarious portrayal of Frank Costanza led him to new heights on The King of Queens. But it's not just the main four we're talking about. What about those unforgettable side characters like Uncle Leo and Helen Seinfeld? In this video, we'll revisit the stars of Seinfeld from their rise to fame to the incredible journeys they've had after the show's epic run. Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld. Let's kick things off with the man who made the mundane hilariously entertaining, Jerry Seinfeld. Back in the late 80s and early 90s, Jerry catapulted to fame by playing a fictionalized version of himself on Seinfeld. It's hard to believe, but this show, which he co-created with Larry David, remains one of the greatest sitcoms ever. I mean, who else could turn a show about nothing into a worldwide phenomenon? No wonder Jerry snagged a Golden Globe for Best Actor in 1995. Fast forward to today, and Jerry Seinfeld is still doing his thing. The man hasn't slowed down. He moved from sitcoms to creating the reality series The Marriage Ref from 2010 to 2011, and then Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee from 2012 to 2019. A show where, yes, he interviews comedians while cruising in fancy cars, because why not? He even took home 3 Webby Awards for that one. Plus, who could forget his role in writing and starring in the Bee Movie in 2007? Jerry's multi-talented, all right. Now at 70, he's still cranking out stand-up specials, including his most recent, 23 Hours to Kill in 2020, all while dabbling in transcendental meditation and having a deep love for coffee and cars. And hey, if you thought Jerry was just about jokes, think again. He's also an author with 3 books under his belt. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Elaine Benes. Next up, we have the one and only Elaine Benes, aka Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who took the world by storm with her unforgettable dance moves and impeccable comic timing on Seinfeld. Julia's career kicked off in 1990, and it didn't take long for her to become a TV icon, thanks to her brilliant portrayal of Elaine, a character who wasn't afraid to speak her mind or show off her unique dance skills. As Seinfeld skyrocketed into television history, Julia's career only got better. After Seinfeld wrapped up, Julia didn't just fade into the background, she forged ahead with leading roles in The New Adventures of Old Christine and Veep, both of which earned her critical acclaim. In fact, she's one of the most decorated actresses out there, with 11 Primetime Emmy Awards to her name, 9 Screen Actors Guild Awards, and a Golden Globe. Oh, and let's not forget that star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame she got in 2010. Pretty impressive, right? But Julia didn't stop there. She's also made her mark on the big screen, starring in films like Hannah and Her Sisters in 1986, Christmas Vacation in 1989, Enough Said in 2013, and You People in 2023, just to name a few. Her voice has graced animated classics like A Bug's Life, Planes, and Onward. And if you thought she was just about TV and movies, think again. Since 2021, she's been playing Valentina Allegra de Fontaine in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yes, Elaine is now a Marvel character. Now at 64, Julia's still crushing it in Hollywood. She's not just making us laugh, she's also been recognized with prestigious awards like the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor and the National Medal of Arts. Julia Louis-Dreyfus is the real deal. She went from being the queen of quirky sitcoms to an award-winning, genre-spanning powerhouse. It's safe to say Elaine's never been more successful. Michael Richards, Cosmo Kramer. Now let's talk about the lovable, eccentric Cosmo Kramer, played by none other than Michael Richards. From 1989 to 1998, Michael turned Kramer into one of TV's most iconic characters with his outlandish entrances and bizarre antics. He snagged 3 Primetime Emmy Awards for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series, proving that his wild energy was as award-winning as it was unforgettable. And hey, it wasn't just Seinfeld. He even popped up in Mad About You playing his Kramer persona, because why not keep the magic alive? While his time on Seinfeld was a career-defining moment, Richards didn't exactly ride that wave into stardom. His filmography includes quirky roles in movies like So I Married an Axe Murderer in 1993, Airheads in 1994, and UHF in 1989. And he even had a starring role in Trial and Error in 1997. But it was his 2000 sitcom, The Michael Richards Show, that just didn't stick. Canceled after only 2 months. Ouch. Then things took a darker turn. In 2006, Richards faced intense backlash after an infamous racist outburst during a stand-up set at the Laugh Factory, an incident that caused his public image to crumble. Following the media firestorm, he stepped away from stand-up for good in 2007. However, after years of silence, Richards resurfaced on Curb Your Enthusiasm in 2009, reuniting with the Seinfeld gang and proving that even Kramer's craziness could make a comeback. He even played Frank in Kirstie in 2013, though it was short-lived with only 1 season. More recently, in 2019, he took on the role of Daddy Hogwood in Faith, Hope, and Love, a romantic comedy showcasing that even in his 70s, he's still got it. Jason Alexander, George Costanza. Who could forget the one and only George Costanza, aka Jason Alexander? Before becoming the master of awkwardness and self-sabotage on Seinfeld, Jason was already a Broadway star. He made his debut in 1981 playing Joe in Stephen Sondheim's Merrily We Roll Along, and continued his Broadway journey with roles in The Rink in '84, Personals in '85, and Broadway Bound in '86. But it was in 1989 when he snagged a Tony Award for Best Actor in a Musical for his performance in Jerome Robbins' Broadway. Proof that Jason's talent goes beyond just playing the neurotic, funny guy we all know and love as George. His film career includes appearances in Pretty Woman in 1990, Coneheads in 1993, Shallow Hal in 2001, and Wildcard in 2015. He also voiced the hilarious gargoyle Hugo in Disney's The Hunchback of Notre Dame in 1996 and its sequel. Oh, and if you've ever watched Duckman from 1994 to 1997, you've heard Jason's voice taking on the titular role. But Jason wasn't just in comedies. He showed his dramatic chops in Denial in 1998 and earned a Primetime Emmy nomination for his guest role in Dream On in 1994. Fast forward to his post-Seinfeld days, and Jason still brings his comedic genius to shows like Curb Your Enthusiasm and The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. At 65, Jason Alexander has proved that he's much more than George Costanza. He's a multi-talented performer who's kept audiences laughing for decades. Estelle Harris. Estelle Costanza. Let's dive into the unforgettable Estelle Harris, who brought George Costanza's fiery and overbearing mother, Estelle Costanza, to life on Seinfeld. From 1992 to 1998, Estelle became an integral part of the show's dynamic, turning the character into a beloved, albeit neurotic, icon. Fans adored her as the ultimate mother from hell. She was relentless, loud, and always had something to complain about. Yet, despite her gruff demeanor, Estelle's comic timing and ability to deliver outrageous lines made her one of the most memorable characters in the Seinfeld universe. Who could forget her iconic, "George, you just can't let people treat you like this," a line that will live on forever in sitcom history. Beyond her Seinfeld fame, Estelle's career spanned decades, and her voice work is equally legendary. She provided the voice of Mrs. Potato Head in Toy Story 2 and continued to reprise the role in Toy Story 3 and Toy Story 4, becoming a beloved part of the franchise. Fans of the animated world know her as Mama Gunda in Tarzan 2 and as the hilarious Lula in Dave the Barbarian. Her versatility extended beyond voice work to live-action appearances, like her role in Out to Sea in 1997 and her portrayal of Bertha Crystal in CBGB in 2013. In addition, she even appeared in a Brad Paisley music video in 2007. Estelle Harris passed away on April 2, 2022 at the age of 93, leaving behind a legacy that spanned multiple generations of fans who laughed, cried, and adored her unique brand of humor. Jerry Stiller, Frank Costanza. Jerry Stiller's portrayal of Frank Costanza on Seinfeld remains one of the most iconic father figures in TV history. His larger-than-life personality, wild rants, and endless comedic energy made Frank the perfect foil to George's neurotic ways. Whether he was shouting "Serenity now!" or getting into an absurd argument over Festivus, Stiller's comedic timing was unmatched, and fans loved how he brought chaos into George's life with his unpredictable antics. Frank Costanza was every bit as lovable as he was outrageous, and Stiller's performance turned the character into a Seinfeld legend. But Jerry Stiller's career didn't end with Seinfeld, far from it. In fact, his post-Seinfeld life saw him rise to even greater heights. He joined the cast of The King of Queens as Arthur Spooner, father-in-law to Doug Heffernan, or Kevin James. His role as the cantankerous and wildly hilarious Arthur helped make the show a hit, running from 1998 to 2007. Beyond TV, Stiller appeared in memorable commercials and films, including a standout performance in Zoolander in 2001, where his role as the eccentric fashion mogul was as unforgettable as it was bizarre. His versatile voice also brought life to educational shows like Crashbox, where he played the role of the announcer. In 2007, Stiller and his wife, Ann Mira, were honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, a testament to their incredible contributions to the entertainment world. By 2010, the couple began starring in the Stiller and Mira web series, where they humorously discussed current events, proving that Stiller's comedic brilliance didn't dim with age. Jerry Stiller passed away in May 2020 at the age of 92, leaving behind a legacy that will continue to bring laughter for generations to come. Wayne Knight Newman. Wayne Knight, who famously brought to life the conniving, scheming mailman Newman on Seinfeld, became a TV icon thanks to his impeccable ability to deliver absurd humor with a straight face. Known for his deadpan expressions and constant rivalry with Jerry, the memorable catchphrase, "Hello, Newman," is still quoted by fans today. But Knight's talents extend well beyond the world of Seinfeld. After playing Newman, he went on to star as Officer Don Orville in Third Rock from the Sun from 1996 to 2001, proving his range in both sitcoms and voice work. His voice was heard in a slew of animated shows like Toonsylvania and The Legend of the Three Caballeros, where he voiced the quirky Baron von Schledgoose. Wayne Knight's film career also soared after his Seinfeld fame, particularly with his role as the villainous Dennis Nedry in Jurassic Park in 1993. His portrayal of the treacherous computer programmer earned him a Saturn Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor. He also starred in films like Dead Again in 1991, Basic Instinct in 92, and Space Jam in 1996, where he played the hilarious, bumbling villain alongside Michael Jordan and the Looney Tunes characters. The Toy Story franchise benefited from his voice as Al McWiggin, the toy store owner with shady intentions, while his other animated credits include Tarzan as Tantor and Tom and Jerry, the Lost Dragon in 2014 as the Elf Elder. Now 69, Knight has become a familiar face in the podcast world, where he continues to share his thoughts and stories with fans. Despite his long and diverse career, it's his iconic role as Newman that still brings him the most recognition and admiration from audiences around the globe. Whether you're laughing at his antics on Seinfeld or catching him in his latest projects, Wayne Knight has proven to be a master of comedy across multiple platforms. Len Lesser, Uncle Leo. Meet Len Lesser, who brought the quirky and lovable character of Uncle Leo to life on Seinfeld, became an unforgettable part of the show's ensemble. His portrayal of the overbearing, somewhat clueless relative who always seemed to be at the wrong place at the wrong time delighted fans with his classic catchphrase, "I'm telling you, you're a great guy, Jerry." Uncle Leo's constant boundary pushing and need to be noticed made him a standout in the show's vast array of eccentric characters. Before making his mark on Seinfeld, Lesser had a remarkable and varied career as a prolific character actor. Starting in the 1950s, he appeared on a wide range of TV shows including That Girl, The Untouchables, Gunsmoke, The Rockford Files, All in the Family, and Castle. His versatility also shone through in films such as Birdman of Alcatraz, Kelly's Heroes, Papillon, The Outlaw Josie Wales, and Supervan. Lesser's talent spanned genres, from gritty dramas to light-hearted comedies, earning him a respected reputation in Hollywood. Lesser also made guest appearances on numerous sitcoms, from The Munsters to Sabrina the Teenage Witch, adding his unique charm to every role he took on. Sadly, he passed away on February 16, 2011, at the age of 88 from cancer-related pneumonia. However, his impact on Seinfeld and the television industry remains, and Uncle Leo's antics continue to bring smiles to audiences old and new. Barney Martin, Morty Seinfeld. Barney Martin, best known for his portrayal as Jerry Seinfeld's father, Morty, on Seinfeld, brought a dry wit and relatable charm to the role. His portrayal of Morty, often exasperated, straightforward, and occasionally caught in the absurdity of his son's world, became a fan favorite. Fans loved the dynamics between Morty and his wife Helen, particularly the way Martin's character often found himself dragged into Jerry's misadventures, adding humor and warmth to their family interactions. Before his iconic role on Seinfeld, Martin was a seasoned actor with a rich career in both television and Broadway. His early work included starring in Chicago as Amos Hart, where he introduced the now classic song Mr. Cellophane. He went on to perform in a variety of other musical productions like South Pacific and Fantastics, making his mark on the Broadway stage. Martin also had numerous television roles, including guest appearances on The Golden Girls, Mama's Family, Murphy Brown, and Full House. His ability to seamlessly fit into various roles, from a gangster to a sitcom father, made him a beloved character actor. Though Seinfeld marked the peak of his career, where he replaced Phil Bruns as Morty Seinfeld, his decades-long contributions to television and theater left an undeniable imprint on the entertainment industry. Martin passed away on March 21, 2005 at the age of 82, leaving behind a legacy as a versatile performer whose comedic timing and heartfelt portrayals will always be remembered by Seinfeld fans and beyond. Liz Sheridan, Helen Seinfeld. Liz Sheridan's portrayal of Helen Seinfeld, Jerry's loving and sometimes overbearing mother on Seinfeld, became one of the standout performances on the show. Known for her warm and protective demeanor, Helen added depth to the Seinfeld family dynamic, often creating a comedic contrast to Jerry's sarcastic, somewhat aloof nature. Fans appreciated her genuine care for Jerry, while also giving her moments of humorous frustration, particularly when her character's overprotectiveness collided with Jerry's desire for independence. Her longevity in the role, appearing in all 9 seasons, made her a staple of the show's ensemble. Before Seinfeld, Sheridan built a robust career in both television and film. She appeared in numerous high-profile TV series such as Kojak, Moonlighting, The A-Team, Cagney and Lacey, and Family Ties, among many others. Her first major role was as Raquel Ochmanek on Alf, where she played the nosy neighbor, a role that showcased her comedic talent. However, it was her turn as Helen Seinfeld that truly cemented her place in sitcom history. Sheridan was the only actor, apart from the core 4, to appear in all seasons of Seinfeld, making her a significant presence on the show. Even after Seinfeld ended, she continued her career in films and television, including a role in Play the Game in 2009 alongside Andy Griffith and Doris Roberts. At 93, Sheridan's contributions to television remain celebrated, leaving behind a lasting legacy as a beloved TV mom. That's a wrap. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Seinfeld cast and their incredible post-show journeys, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories of your favorite TV stars.